Assalamu alaikum students. Today we'll continue with our lecture series of economy. Last time we had studied about this legal tender, fiat money, and the topic we have. We are going to leave it there until we start our monetary policy. But before starting monetary policy, it becomes imperative for us when we have studied this currency, legal tender, and we use the term in between. We talked about demonetization. I said, was it carried out earlier? What was the day? What were the prospects? And what's the difference between demonetization of those times and demonetization of today? We'll continue because since we're in the age of big data. This big data, this digital transaction age, this cashless economy age, and this architecture being built up for this digital payment system. Every year we see questions being asked either in UPSC or JKPSC in combined computer exams regarding it, whether in mains or in, because it has various spillover effects. Lot of, from economic development to financial inclusion, lot of spillover effects, and this makes it of immense importance. So that's why we have decided to discuss rather, because material is all available on any platform regarding these topics. But we will come. I want to foster you at least with ideas that would help you to analyze the things in a better proportion, in a proper manner. Because proportionate learning, rational learning is very important in your UPSC or JKPSC preparation. This will open horizons of your brain. This will open what things I need to study in future. This will help you what topics are very important for me, and how to correlate, how to collate data of various organizations, of various financial institutions, of various bodies and ministries with our mains writing. Because we don't have to pass a single stage. We have to pass it's a three-stage exam. Each and every stage becomes important. Now, first question that I had asked you last time was about demonetization. Now, since I told you that it would be more of a debate rather than a learning, because this is all which you can assess, or which you can use it yourself, which you can properly understand yourself, or which you can write even yourself. But we'll have some brief discussions about various parameters. Now, first thing I told you, what is demonetization? Question starts from what? Now, you should be able to answer this, what is demonetization? Because this is not a new example to you. This example has been done on 8 November 2016. At least you were born before that. I know on previous dates of demonetization you were not born. But in 2016 at least you were born, and you must have read a significant quantum of data regarding to demonetization, and you will be well aware of the concept. Now, let's ask you a question. What is demonetization?
Demonetization is the removal of high currency notes from circulation as legal tender.
Yes, from legal tender. Means, is it always a high currency notes? Your definition is it's the removal of, it is removal of high currency notes, higher denominations in circulation as legal tender. Quite a brilliant definition, and it's economically it's also correct. But since definition is correct, there is no need to worry that the definition is not correct. But something you need to understand here. This will help you to clear your concepts. It's the removal of higher denomination or higher currency notes. As legal tender. Now, first thing that should come to your mind, because I would be specifically analyzing each and every part of your sentence, because we have to understand concepts in economy. We don't have to go for rote learning. Once you understand concepts, believe me, you will be able to solve 12 to 13 questions out of 15 questions with ease. And if your current affairs are strong, you'll be able to solve all the 15 questions if asked in examination. So I don't want you to go for rote learning, and develop your answer writing perspective from here. Do not wait for your preliminary to cover. You can never complete in that portion. ठीक? Now, why we use the term higher currency denomination? Why not coins?
They don't have much effect. They don't have much effect.
That's correct, that they do not have much impact, because it would take 1 crore rupee coins to form a lump sum money of 1 crore. But since last lecture was about legal tender, and under Coinage Act there was an amendment made in 2011 that coins below 50 paisa will not be considered as legal tender. And one thing was made there, that all the transactions above 2 lakh rupees have to be made via checks. Via checks. Means higher currency denomination are very good sources that can be easily hoarded. ठीक? When it can be easily hoarded, chances of corruption with higher notes or money laundering or other transactions through these higher denomination currency, it's easy to be done, as easy as it's easy to be said. ठीक? And definition here refers to as legal tender. Means the government through its notification, what will happen? They will cease to be act as legal tender. And what will be the ramifications of it when they will cease to act as legal tender? Tell me, what will be its ramifications? What will be when the currency in circulation will cease to be a legal tender? What will be its ramifications?
It won't be accepted in the market.
Means, you are correct, but let's not speak in layman's language, because try to build it. This is not a discussion about understanding, because this is a topic you have already understood. I want you to fall in perspective of mains writing. How well you can write a sentence. Tell me a good sentence with that raw sentence you used, with the crude sentence you used earlier. Formulate it with a good, try to use some great neurons, try to formulate a good sentence out.
The creditor will not be under compulsion to accept it in terms of settlement of his claims.
Means now, no settlement of debt or credit can be done via this currency. ठीक? This looks a slight, proper, apt sentence in your answer writing. Why is newspaper reading important? Newspaper reading is only important that will help you to build your vocabulary and to write a good comprehensive statements. ठीक? I am not saying that you are wrong, but I am saying how well you can formulate the same point using a little 2-3 more neurons But this has to happen with the practice. If I don't correct you properly, you would have always used the same kind of sentence. And this would have rarely made an impact in your evaluation. A good sentence naturally influences. Naturally, it's not about using flowering, for those flowery words, jargons. No. It should be simple but very comprehensive. Now, when was this? Now, question comes. Second question we have to ask is when.
The first one,
Yes.
1946.
Till now, it has been done
3 times.
3 times. Believe me, I am also preparing. I am preparing you for all the 3 stages, not a single stage. This when and why it was done. When and why it was done. Because this is an important question that can be asked during a personality test. When? First time it was done in?
1946.
Second time?
1978.
Third time? 8th November. In 1946, India was still yet to get independence. Then what was the change made by Britishers in that period? Did you learn about it? No. About 1978, what did?
To curb black money. But RBI governor had other things to say about it. He said that it was done to cut the political funding of the opposition party.
In 1978, you must be. This has a very strong connection with emergency period. 1970s is very famous, rather infamous for emergency in India, and Congress party was all in its power. We can say it was nearly an autocratic government of the time, and their federal structure was almost dismantled during that time. And when your federal structure is on the verge of extinction, naturally you have a lot of money. This means the government of the day perceived or presupposed that there is a lot of black money in circulation that is helping other opposition parties. That is helping opposition parties to finance their elections. So what did government of the day do? They started the process of demonetization. Now, 8th November, since this has taken place recently, 8th November 2016, and this you should be able to correlate it. Why this? What was, if you would have gone through, you would have analyzed various newspaper reportings or government notification, which is very apt to be understood or which is very apt to be read. What did it say? Why did government start a process of demonetization on 8th November 2016? What was the main intention?
First of all, to curb this black money, and second of all, to make India into a digital or cashless economy.
See, this 8th November 2016 will have a slight discussion on it. Should we? 500 rupees, 500 notes and 1000 rupee notes, they were taken out of circulation. They ceased to act as legal tender. The Prime Minister Modi announced that from midnight of November 19 or November 8, 2016, they will cease to be legal tender. Primarily, two main intentions were there. One, curbing of black money. Second, we'll see afterwards. See, in 2007 and in 2007 and in 2000, we'll analyze this data 2016 to 19. Currency in circulation was at par with bank deposits. Currency in circulation was currency versus bank deposits. They were at par. What will be its ramification? Let's discuss it a little later. But from 2016 to 19, after demonetization, I want you to come to some point. Currency in circulation, currency with Indians was more than bank deposit by 50%. Currency with was more than, please understand it. This is how you come to some understanding to a particular point. Was more than 50% of bank deposits. ठीक? Means this is a data afterwards. Listen here. Means if we relate the data from 2017 to 2016, this currency build-up was increasing. This currency build-up was increasing. Are you understanding my point? When this currency build-up was increasing, and when a currency in a system increases, there are more chances of money laundering, there are more chances of a shadow economy to grow. And when a shadow economy grows, your country economic system, it comes to fault. It starts losing, it starts fracturing.
What is shadow economy?
Shadow economy is parallel economy. ठीक? When transactions or the economy that is running besides the main structure, that's not accounted. ठीक? And that shadow economy has a lot of ramifications we're going to discuss. Now, the first intention was curbing of black money because black money has own limitations, from money laundering to illicit activities to terrorism to threat to internal security, to corruption, all sort of this, to crony capitalism. This all sort of issues, there had to be with black money. But since these 500 and 1,000 notes were taken out of circulation, but within some time they were replaced with 200 rupee notes and new 500 rupee notes. And almost all the money, almost 99% of the money came back to the banks. Came back to the banks. It's the data that has been given by RBI. I'm not speaking of my own. Means what we had prompted that will come to some point where this black money would be eliminated. Huh? But actually what happened, that cash came back to the banks. That cash came back to the banks. Means we could not, what we had hoped for, that demonetization would help to curb black money. We may have reached to certain, we may have we may have touched it, we may have hit a wall to some extent, but we cannot really say whether it was a successful thing to do or not, because currency with Indians was more than 50%. This is RBI data. ठीक? As compared to bank, means this curbing of black money, this was not a successful thing. This could not translate to a success. Now, ultimately, what government thought that it could not succeed properly, and something had to be done. If we have to curb all sorts of black money, all sorts of shadow economy, something has to be done where we can eliminate cash from the system as a whole. Where we can eliminate cash as a system as a whole. And the concept where we were, which came to us, or the concept which we know by today, is known as cashless economy. ठीक? समझा? Pick up your phone. Pick up your phone. Pick it up. You can go outside. Sometimes it's important. Sorry. This was one motive why we came to this concept of cashless economy. Other motive which I want to make you understand, and which is in line with the India's Digital India mission. समझ आ रहा है? चीजें conceptually build up हो रही है. That's important. Digital India mission. What is the vision of Digital India mission?
To make India cashless.
To transform India.
Paperless.
To transform India into digitally empowered society and knowledge economy. ठीक? Through where? Through how? Faceless, paperless, and cashless economy. This is where debate has actually started. And Digital India mission started in 2014. Debate started. The debate had already started because Sweden had tried it and it was very successful among all the countries in the world. Sweden is the most successful country with this cashless system in the world. Okay? Now, since we are now, we'll have to understand this cashless economy. Now we'll have a slight discussions about cashless economy. Actually, our main aim is to go to digital payment system, which is very important topic for your preliminary examination as well as mains examination. But to come to that topic, we'll have to understand its background. And understanding a concept or a topic with a proper background makes your conceptual understanding about the topic very highly penetrative and highly, very nice, very proper. Now we'll start cashless economy. First question that would you ask is what's cashless economy? बताइए what's cashless economy?
It's plastic money, net banking.
That are examples.
Wallet.
That are methods.
Where currency is not involved. It's made digitally.
It's economic system.
Physical paper or currency is eliminated.
Where flow of cash it does not exist. In economy, rather all transactions are undertaken through electronic channels. And those electronic channels start from use of credit cards, debit cards, point of scale machines, ATMs, UPIs, NEFT, RTGS that we are going to study in digital landscape of India or digital architecture or landscape in or digital ecosystem in India. We are going to study in broad. There have been many additions we have to understand from the perspectives of current affairs that we will understand in that portions. But here if we are studying about this cashless economy, we need to understand its pros as well as cons. We need to understand what are its benefits and what are its limitations. Why can India really become a cashless economy? If not, what is the suitable way India can proceed? ठीक? This has to be understood. Let's understand. ये आपने किया कॉपी? Pros means benefits, cons means challenges or negatives. ठीक? Positives and negatives. First, we shall understand its benefits. I will use key sentences, keywords, and you will fill up those paragraphs yourself with a proper data set. ठीक? But I'll try to gather some points. Try to help you with some points. But you should use latest data in your answer writing because you will be probably writing next year. Next year तक data बहुत सारा change हो जाएगा. तो उस हिसाब से आप data इसको इन्हीं points में आप लिख सकते हैं. And you can split it into various subheadings: personal benefits, social benefits, economic benefits. You can write there. Some pros, you always try to write individual benefits. Then you can whatever points I discussed, you can write them accordingly where they fit. Then economic benefits, then social benefits. ठीक? In line with Digital India, this is our national vision, this is our national policy, means you can write it in our mono किसी point पे जहाँ आपको ज़्यादा suitable लगेगा. ये तो डिजिटल इंडिया में मैं एक्सप्लेन किया. दूसरी बात, अगर हम इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट की बात करें, you know that cash is expensive. In 2019, it took RBI about 32.1 billion rupees to print currency. RBI को 2019 में कितना, 2016 के बाद जो नई करेंसी लाई उसने, तो कितना पैसा लगा? 32.1 billion rupees, not US dollars. जब करेंसी को ही इतना प्रिंट करने में इतना पैसा लगेगा, isn't it expensive? Then its shelf life is very less. It deteriorates very easily. तो उसको रिप्लेस करना पड़ता है नए कैश के साथ, नई प्रिंटेड मनी के साथ. Again, cost increases. Then maintenance of ATMs, cost increase, maintenance cost. Also, running a cash-based economy in India it takes almost 0.15% of our GDP. Means it's expensive. Running a cash-based economy in India is almost 0.15% of India's GDP. Is almost 0.15% of GDP. Isn't it expensive? Huh? Very much. Now, let's study other point. Other point, Banu? What about the shadow money? Cash is a driver of shadow money. And because it's easy, because what currency is a zero interest, anonymous, promissory note. There is no history or name written on it. It can be used by anybody, and you will not have any specifics about him. Means it's a driver of shadow economy. And when the shadow economy, our economic system, I'll just write points and try to understand those points. It will crumble our economic system. It will crumble our formal economic system, wouldn't it? Then other point, what? Increase black money in market.
I think we're writing cons.
We are writing. What are the problems? Because we want to eliminate cash.
Cons of cash.
Yes. ठीक? Increase black money in market. When और क्या हो सकता है? Money laundering. This money laundering can be used for organized and unorganized crimes. Then it becomes a matter of internal security. Money laundering, threat to internal security. Because it can be used for organized as well as unorganized crimes. ठीक? और पॉइंट्स आप ऐड कर सकते हो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन योर नॉलेज. जब वो इंक्रीज होती जाएगी आप और पॉइंट्स आप खुद ऐड कर सकते हो. ठीक? Now let's come to other points. What about transparency? Since you live in an age of digital wallets,
Counterfeit currency can be.
that is where you can counterfeit when there is a black money, when there is a cash, there is a counterfeit currency. Cashless economy can eliminate the counterfeit currency. You can add those points. ठीक? You have provision of adding other 100 points if you can. That's only going to increase the domain of your understanding, a domain of your knowledge outreach. ठीक? Transparency. What about transparency? You are living in the age of digital wallets. I may not know, but my brother knows. He knows about Paytm. You know about Paytm. You know about Amazon Pay. You know about this Airtel Pay. Anything you know. But what do they ask? They ask KYC norms. And when they ask KYC norms, means they ask information, authentic information about you. Then they allow you to use those mobile wallets for transactions. ठीक? Yes, it's beyond a certain limit, those KYC norms are increased, but you often get this message in your inbox, either from RB or from TRI, that you need to upgrade your system, upgrade your mobile wallets through by using these KYCs. When there's a system of KYC, know your customer, means chances of transparency and accountability in a system increases. ठीक? हाँ? मैं शॉर्टकट फॉर्म लिख रहा हूँ आपको, ठीक है? Increase in transparency and accountability. Now, most important aspect, very important aspect rather, ये मैं आप करूं? What about tax evasion? Will it increase? Decrease. It will decrease. Huh? Tax evasion will decrease because all the transactions will have a note of those transactions, because they will be occurring through a formal financial system. Will be apprised of each and every transaction that we've done. We will have a sizable. We'll come to know about the population which is liable to pay taxes, and we can means this can increase our tax base. When the revenues of the government increase in the form of taxes, then that tax can be used by government for fulfilling its constitutional obligation of distributive justice. So, distributive means government can opt for various welfare schemes. ठीक? And when there is also in transparency and accountability, we can also at one point, since various welfare schemes or now we can say that we reach the other point. We can say financial inclusion. With JAM Trinity, JAM, Jandan Yojana. Jandan means having an account, each and every person to have an account in a financial institution, and Aadhaar, enabled payment system and use of mobile. The main intention was to promote financial inclusion, because we have a wide disparity, urban-rural disparity in terms of financial inclusion. And we have also not urban-rural disparity in terms of financial inclusion, rather we also have a gender disparity in terms of financial inclusion. Most of the women, they did not have any account. Now, we also found when we used to transfer any money to fulfill our obligation of any scheme, if the government wanted to transfer, host of ghost beneficiaries evolved there. There were present host of the ghost benefit, those who did not exist, those who used to manipulate or forge data to get benefits out of that scheme. But government used this enabled this DBT system, direct benefit transfer, to eliminate those ghost beneficiaries, and to empower women. Means cashless economy is a promoter of financial inclusion. ठीक?
Sentence they give you, post for ghost.
Ghost beneficiaries. देखो किसी के लिए टारगेट स्कीम हुआ करती थी, वो किसी और को वो पैसा कोई और ले जा रहा था। अब वुमेन को क्या बोला गया कि आपके आप अकाउंट खोलो, हम आपको अगर आपको कोई सोशल वेलफेयर स्कीम आपके लिए टारगेट की गई है, दिस विल रीच टू योर own bank account. She can use this money for her own convenience, for her own benefit. Means she or for her own this economic empowerment. So means now those hitherto sections that were financially excluded, now they have been, cashless economy can act as a facilitator to enable or to empower them or to include them financially. Means it can act as a facilitator for financial inclusion. Now, understood this point? You can add data also. You can add with regards to latest trade figures. These are some of the benefits. There are a lot of other benefits which we make our digital transactions also. When we have a broad, when we'll study about the broad picture of digital transaction. These are some of the benefits. But before coming to challenges or cons of this cashless economy, since that cons have to get associated, we have to associate them. What is India doing to promote this cashless economy, and that we have to correlate with our digital transaction system or digital payment system. I believe that the topic should continue for the next day, which will such that a strong correlation can be built. Otherwise, you tend to forget things when you do not lay them properly. I think this should be all for today. Cons will be studying tomorrow. We'll be studying tomorrow, and we'll try to relate with digital ecosystem present in India at present. Thank you so much.